Are you feeling overwhelmed by AI news? There's so much going on each and every day. Well, don't worry, I picked 30 of the top AI news stories, so let's rapid fire through them. Let's start with Google. So we have VO 3.1, which was released, and instead of just talking about it, let me actually show you. I have a whole video of 3.1 versus Sora 2. Truthfully, I think Sora 2 is better, but we are on Higgs field here, and this is where I'm generating my VO 3.1 videos. And you can see here I've uploaded a prompt of, or an image of AI Dana, and I have a prompt that says you should subscribe for more AI news, and now we can hit play and you can actually hear how it sounds.
For the latest updates and breakthroughs in AI, you should subscribe for more AI news. Stay informed and ahead of the curve.
And she's right, you should subscribe for the latest AI news so you can stay ahead of the curve. I cover AI on a daily basis and it's free, so just take a moment and click subscribe. Google also released updates to Google AI Studio. So instead of showing you the article, let me actually show you what they've done. So there's this whole new dashboard here on the homepage. It shows you like, hey, here's the latest things you can do. And it kind of shows you all the different things. It shows you what's new. So you can see Nano Banana, you can see VO 3.1. We can generate audio. And then there's also this whole like getting started aspect with like different code. There's also view API keys. So you can actually view your API keys right here on AI Studio, or before it used to link you back to Google Cloud. Now it's all in one spot, one location. What's also really cool is they have this like usage and billing. So we can actually see my project here, which I've been playing around with for the last few days. And you can actually see my API request now that I've been using it. We can see our errors. We can see a nice dashboard all in one location. I don't have to leave AI Studio anymore. I can truly use it for a developer dashboard, a developer area. But there is more than just development, and this is something I'm conflicted about. If I scroll down here, you can see a single playground to spare you from context switching. So it is, they're basically saying we're making it easier to find and switch between Google's latest AI models. The new playground is a single unified surface where you can use Gemini, Nvidia, so on and so forth, in one location without losing your place or switching tabs. And it's the entire chat UI is consistent with one conversation with all the different controls. So it's like a really nice, concise location for all the Google models. I don't know how to feel about this because we do have Gemini and AI Studio is competing against Gemini, but AI Studio is more for like developers and Gemini is more for consumers, but they effectively mostly do the same thing. So I don't know if they should merge them or they continue to compete, but honestly, I like AI Studio. It is a good platform. When people think AI news, they generally think AI slop or large language models or just different things to generate. But there's some really uplifting things happening in AI as well. So Google DeepMind and Yale unveiled a 27 billion parameter model that can identify new cancer therapy pathway. It marks significant advancement in the use of large-scale AI for biomedical research and has already yielded a tangible breakthrough in cancer biology. It's actually really cool because the model ran a virtual simulation of over 4,000 drugs under different immune contexts, and it was able to identify candidates that would work for different types of drugs based off the simulations that they were able to run. And Google's news didn't stop there. They're also going to spend $15 billion in India to build the largest AI hub outside of the United States. And I know we generally like consumer-facing updates, so Google has some of those as well this week. So if you use Notebook LM, they're also updating video overviews with Nano Banana. So Nano Banana is their image editing model that they released a few weeks ago that took the internet by storm. Well, you can also customize your video overviews now with different visual styles. So you can say, hey, I want a whiteboard style or watercolor style, retro print, whatever you want, it can do it. It now uses Nano Banana. Let's move on to Anthropic, which is Claude, and they have introduced Claude Haiku 4.5, which is their smallest model available to everyone. And I can tell you this model is really good from a software engineering perspective. I've been using it for the last few days, and I think this chart here is pretty accurate. So it is not as good as Sonnet 4.5, but it is slightly worse than GPT-5 Codex. Honestly, in my use case, I think it's probably on par with Codex, and it is definitely better than Gemini 2.5 Pro. And is Google ever going to release 3? There's all these rumors, but anyway, that's a side topic. Let's continue on. And if you continue to scroll down, you can see all the different benchmarks. Like I said, this model is really good. I've been using it with my Claude code since it's been released because I have run out of my Sonnet 4.5, or I'm running out quickly despite being a Max Plan member. Claude is also updated something with agent skills, and agent skills is so different than anything exists currently. So it's not like a project, it's not like a gem, it's not like a preset prompt, it is a skill. And these AI models, when you ask it a question and it needs to access something, it has its own built-in skills. So it might have a coding skill. So it's going to help it like code Python or whatever you're doing. So Claude can now have its own skills. You can add your own skills to Claude. And when you have to perform a specific task, it can call up that skill. It can use the folder of instructions, scripts, resources that you upload, that you add, and then it's going to use that to give you a better answer output. And where it gets really cool is skills can actually stack together, and Claude will automatically identify which skills it needs at the given time. And you can use the same skills everywhere. So if you build once on a Claude app, it will work in Claude Code and the API, making it really powerful. So you can actually see what it looks like here. You can see the different skills, the previews, all the different capabilities. So they have their demo video here kind of explaining it, where they upload like a little zip file with their resources, the branding, content, everything. And then we now have a skill for a company. And now when you go into chat, you can ask it a question. It's able to pull up that skill, pull up your company branding information, and then apply it according to the answer. Like I said, I think this is extremely powerful because it's going to extend functionality in ways we never thought before. And this is something I'm really going to dive into with Claude Code because I can really see the use cases. I can really see this being extremely beneficial. That's not all with Claude updates. We also have Claude in your productivity platforms. It's really like dramatic, but honestly, it's just Claude integrates now with Microsoft 365. So this is not new-ish. It's kind of new. I mean, it's Microsoft 365 has been added, but Claude has always had connectors. Now they have a connector for Microsoft 365, which means now Claude can search your email. It can work with Outlook. It can work with your calendar, and you can quickly chat natural language to Claude with Microsoft 365 products. All right, so let's talk about OpenAI now, because they've had some really interesting updates this past week. So they say ChatGPT will soon allow 18 plus content. And this came about on Tuesday when Sam Altman said OpenAI had previously made ChatGPT pretty restrictive to make sure we're being careful with mental health issues. We realized that it made it less useful and enjoyable to many users who had no mental health problems, but given the seriousness of the issue, we want to make sure we got this right. In December, we will roll out age gating more fully and as part of our treat adult users like adults principle. So they want to verify adults and then allow them to generate 18 plus content. And before I give you my opinion on this, I want to talk about this next article, which is OpenAI stopping disrespectful Martin Luther King Jr. deepfakes. So like just a week ago, if you went to Sora and you went to the top page and you started looking at these videos, and if you scrolled through, chances are you saw some Martin Luther King videos, him saying all sorts of different things. And like I just mentioned, they put a stop to this. So combine this concept here, where OpenAI has released Sora 2, and they basically let it open. They open the floodgates for everyone. And now they want to do age verification for 18 plus for adults. Combine those two concepts, we're going to get some really interesting content coming out of ChatGPT in the near future. I'm not against the idea as a whole, but I do think the content that's going to be generated will be questionable, and things that ChatGPT never even imagined is what we're going to see come Christmas. OpenAI wasn't done there. They also partnered up with Walmart, the beginnings of a retail's AI makeover. We're excited to partner with Walmart to make everyday purchases a little simpler. So while you're having a conversation right on ChatGPT, you're able to use something called instant checkout. So maybe you're asking it about a recipe and it's going to go through. It's going to say, hey, you need these ingredients for this recipe. And then you can say, well, I'm missing these ingredients. Instant checkout will pop up. Boom. You ordered from Walmart, products are shipping to your house. And that's not all. Additionally, Walmart associates will also gain access to free AI certifications and on-the-job learning pathways through OpenAI's training platform. OpenAI is also launching Africa's first AI Academy, and they want access to AI for everyone. This collaboration is important. There's a sense of urgency to act. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but now. And I know that's a little dramatic again, but I think this is actually a really important quote because they want to get people involved. They want to support the next generation of African innovators, giving them practical skills, connecting them to a global community, and ensure that AI reflects African voices and priorities. I think this is really important because we're leveling the playing field. We're giving more people access to information, access to being able to research, being able to learn. We're making education better through AI. And speaking of education, big tech is now paying millions of dollars to train teachers on AI in a push to bring chatbots into the classroom. So we have Microsoft, OpenAI, and Anthropic is providing millions of dollars to train teachers, and their goal is to train at least 10,000 members this school year and train over 400,000 teachers over the next 5 years. I think this is really important because AI is not going away, and students need to learn how to use it and learn how to use it effectively, especially when employers are going to require it, because businesses are going to have to adapt with the trend, with the push towards AI. And speaking of a push towards AI, look at Wikipedia. So they had to do a reclassification of human page views, and Wikipedia over the last few months amounts to a decrease of roughly 8% compared to the same months in 2024, and we believe these declines reflect the impact of generative AI. So a business like Wikipedia has to adjust to work with all the push into generative AI. And if you're a business owner, I got this for you.
If your website can handle support 24/7 without hiring additional staff. If you go to Elf site, you can come down and you can create a widget. You can enter in your own URL. It's going to analyze your website, and in just 10 to 15 seconds, you're going to have your own custom virtual assistant that your customers can start talking to. Now we have our own Franklin AI assistant chatbot that we can talk to, and we can just one click, hey, what are the newest AI tools available? It is able to look through the website and spit out the information from the Franklin AI website. And you can use ElfSite to generate answers for your potential customers, so they don't leave your website. They can ask questions, get answers, and purchase things. On the left here, we can add my own custom question, like, do I do collaborations? With an answer, I can hit done. So now if we come in and talk to our chatbot, someone asks, hey, does Franklin do collabs? It is able to not just pull information from the website, but it's able to pull information from the question and answers that we put in. And is that simple, that easy, and you can fully customize this in seconds. So we have greetings, so we can put welcome messages and quick replies. We can change the button icons down to the theme. It's like having a support agent that never sleeps. It's just awake 24 hours, 7 days a week, working for you. Check it out in the description below.
X is also changing its recommendation system where it's going to be using Grok. So Elon Musk is saying Grok is going to read every single post, watch every single video that is posted to X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, 100 million posts per day. It's going to read all of that. It's going to try to match the user with content they're most likely to find interesting. And he goes on to say this should address the new user or small account problem, where if you post something really interesting and no one's going to see it, well, Grok is going to just try to say, hey, this is really cool. This person here might like it, even though that this person's a small account. Check this out. I, for one, actually look forward to seeing how this works in practicality. I don't know if it'll work, but it'd be interesting to see. Nvidia has also launched its AI personal supercomputer. It goes on sale October 15th, which is in the past from the time of recording. So this is its small but mighty Spark. Jensen actually announced this like a year ago, and he announced it for $3,000 US, but now it's going to be more like $4,000 US. But there is hope for a cheaper model because buyers can expect to see a variety of similar models on the market. As Nvidia said, third-party manufacturers are welcome to make their own version. So we might see Acer, Asus, Dell, Gigabyte, HP, Lenovo, etc., etc. And from the early reviews, it looks pretty good. Facebook AI can now suggest edits to photos still on your phone, and spoiler, they're not on your phone. You have to actually upload all of them, so you can actually see here, when you go to opt-in, it says, allow cloud processing to get creative ideas made for you from your camera roll. So your photos from your camera roll will all be uploaded to Facebook. They're going to analyze them. They're going to spin them back to you. They're going to say, hey, there's this really cool collage you can make with this photo or whatever you want to do. And then it says, hey, you want to share a recap of your trip? Check out all these photos we found. Let's just do this. Let's just create a story. And it's able to do all this for you in one click. But it is important to note that they are not on your phone. They actually have to get uploaded to the cloud, but cool feature nonetheless. Facebook also has a preview of its new parental controls for teens using AI interactions on Instagram. So if you're using AI characters, for example, you can restrict these conversations entirely. And I think these features are important for parents. You have more options now, and that's never a bad thing. Moving on, we have MAI-Image-1 debuting in the top 10 on LM Arena. This is actually Microsoft's first in-house image model, and let's actually just fact check it real quick. So we have text to image arena. Let's see, where are they? Are they actually in the top 10? Yes, they are. They're number 9. That's pretty cool. What does it look like? Here are the images. Here's what they look like. And apparently they have said that they've trained the model with delivering the goal of genuine value for creators. So they don't want generic output. They don't want generic stylized outputs. They want actually good looking photos that are unique and closely mirror real world creative use cases. This is a model I'm going to have to check out because it looks pretty good. Microsoft also wants to make every Windows 11 PC an AI PC. What does that actually look like? Well, they have 3 parts. They want you to be able to interact with it naturally in text or voice and have it understand you. The second is they want it to be able to see exactly what you're doing on your computer, so as you're working. And third, it should take action on your behalf. Of course, it is Copilot, specifically Copilot Vision. It's available worldwide. So I just want to talk about some of the features it includes because it's actually kind of cool. We have full desktop and app sharing, so you can actually just share your entire screen. It can look at it and provide answers to your questions. It can coach you through like different applications. You can get tips to improve whatever you're working on. So say you're working on a slide, you can say, hey, check this out. Can you give me feedback? And it can do that. There is also something called highlights. So you can actually say, hey, Copilot, show me how to do this task, and then it's going to actually like highlight on your screen, showing you like the different clicks of where you have to go to do it. So it kind of helps you learn how to use different software. They're also previewing Copilot actions for local files, so you can just use natural language to work with your files on your computer. So you can see here, they've uploaded a folder and it said, hey, can you fix the orientation of these photos? And it's able to go through, fix all of them for you. Do you like the idea of Windows 11 going more AI, or do you hate the idea? Let me know in the comments below. I think Apple probably hates Meta right now. So Meta is trying to hire every single AI talent in the industry, it seems like. And this Apple executive has left for Meta, but it gets stranger than that. Just weeks ago, Yang was appointed head of a team called Answers, Knowledge, and Information, or AKI, which is the central to Siri voice assistant overhaul plan for March. Yang, the newly tapped executive leading the effort to develop a ChatGPT AI-driven web search, is stepping down to join Meta. So got the promotion. Like 2 weeks later, he's like, all right, well, I'm out of here. I'm going to Meta. Yang has been with Apple since 2019. And of course, Apple, Meta, and Yang did not respond with any comments. This next piece of news here is Pinterest rolls out new tools to give users more control over generative AI content. And this is really cool. Just bear with me for a second. You can actually choose which generative AI interests you want to see in your recommended pins. You can toggle them all off and you can try to go back to human content. And I say try, as AI passes the Turing test. That's going to get harder and harder. But they go on to say that AI is now making up an incredible 57% of all online material. At Pinterest, we heard that our users want creativity and inspiration they love, the right mix of human and generative AI content. And you can tune your tastes with how much AI you want in your feed. And this is actually something I wish Google did with image search, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, because every single time you search, it seemed like Pinterest flooded every single image search available. So that would have been nice to just toggle off Pinterest, but here we are. Pinterest is doing it with AI. Spotify is teaming up with major labels to build ethical AI music tools, and basically, they want to create AI products that strengthen artist controls over their works, and it is based off 4 key principles. So partnership and licensing, choice for artists on whether they want to participate, fair compensation and transparent crediting, and stronger artist-fan connection. They also go on to talk about how they're tightening their AI rules. So they have an impersonation problem where they're banning AI-generated vocal clones and replicas of real artists. So people are trying to upload their own songs of real artists or like sound like the real artists. So they're banning those. And they go on to say that spam prevention, people are bulk uploading to Spotify. And just last year alone, they released 75 million spam tracks. That's wild. That's a huge number, a lot more than I thought. And they want more transparency. So they want distributors to have to specify where and how much AI contributed to the track, whether in vocal, instrumental, or production. And it's not just Spotify that is embracing AI. We have Firefox as well, which is adding Perplexity AI answer engine, which is sounds bigger than it is. Basically, under the search bar, you can now enable Perplexity. I like when companies use AI like productively. They're not just throwing random features in, and Kayak is another one where they're introducing an AI mode, a conversational travel search. So if we scroll down here, you can actually see what it looks like. We have like flight stays, cars, and now they have something called AI mode. You can just like quickly type in, hey, can you find me all the hotels under $300 in Paris next month? I want to fly direct and I want to rent a car, and it will bring back all this information for you. And again, natural language is pretty cool. All right, so Messi is launching Messi 6 Preview, and it is a sculpting level AI 3D modeling platform. And truthfully, this platform is really cool. You can see the bus here, Messi 5, Messi 6 Preview. It looks a lot better. We can see the different features that they're adding, 3D printing platform enhancements, nano banana model, batch images to 3D, but let me show you an actual example of something I 3D printed. As you can see here, this is AI Dana, the image that I use in a lot of my videos. This is her model, her bus, 3D printed, and it came out really, really good. This was just one image uploaded to their platform, and that was with just Messi 5, and Messi 6 Preview looks phenomenal. Can't wait to try that. Do you use Slack for work? Well, Slackbot is turning into an AI assistant, so now you can actually talk to Slackbot as an AI companion, and you can use it to schedule meetings or find files or create plans. If you're very nerdy, you can check out this post here by Andre Kapathi, which created something called NanoChat. It is a very small model. He goes into a lot of technical detail. He also gives you a full GitHub repository, technical walkthroughs, all sorts of stuff, examples. Really cool if you want to deep dive into more of a technical aspect in large language models. A few weeks ago, I talked about NFL using AI, and we have more information now. They want to predict injuries. So you want to find the sweet spot that's not overworked or underprepared for football. The more football you play, the better you are at football, but also the more fatigued you are. So it's a seesaw balance. So the model is going to be able to tell training staff how much a player has worked by tracking decelerations, accelerations, total workload, off the field, on the field, change of direction, so on and so forth. And then they can use that information to determine, hey, based off trends, this player is likely to get hurt or likely not. Let's just keep playing them. And lastly, we have Figure AI. If you don't know who they are a company working on a humanoid. Well, they're talking about building a new species, which we have no clue what that is yet. And when we do, you can find out right here on this channel where I cover AI on a daily basis. I have my weekly AI news segment like this one. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. Like the video, it tells the algorithm you enjoy this type of content. You want to see more of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with another AI video.
AI tools, AI news, AI prompts you can use. It's all for free. Just come and see at franklinai.com where you're meant to be.